They're perceived as having a great deal of money all of a sudden, and so people think that they can take advantage of that.
The guys to kind of like sort this one out, but I would say like interest rates. Oh my God, interest rates. Like everybody need to write that down right now and go look up and try to understand what interest rates. I would say for my Range Rover and my niece's Nissan Altima, 8 years older than my car payment was less than hers. Why? Interest rates. My interest rate was 1.9%. Hers was 17%. So there you go. You're getting killed. So sometimes when we go into these dealerships and things of that nature, this is just a small point of the importance of having financial literacy, as Alex said, right? And as Corey has said, as everyone has said, is that when you don't understand and you go in and they're saying, oh, your car payment is going to be this and so on and so forth. And you only understand what you understand. It's like, okay, I got to pay X amount a month, but you don't understand that, oh my goodness, my interest rate is 17%. It's 16%. It's something, they may as well rob you at gunpoint at that point. It's a crazy interest rate, right? But that happens a lot when you do not understand financial literacy. So I think interest rates is a big one as it relates to financial illiteracy.
After 20 years of banking, I have been fortunate to be a part of a lot of large deals. I've seen 8-figure loans. I've been a part of 9-figure deposits. So just to add a little bit of a different spin, what I want to share is one of the most fascinating deals I've been a part of recently. And there was a gentleman that I was working with in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, who back in the 80s, he built a billboard company, right? Relatively small billboard company, built it up to be wildly successful. And so the largest billboard company in the United States of America came and bought this gentleman out for $25 million. And they made him sign a 7-year non-compete contract. Now, they assumed that this gentleman was in his 60s. They gave him $25 million. You're going to retire. You're going to go off in the sunset, right? You're going to go fishing. But here's what was fascinating about this gentleman. He marked on his calendar 7 years and 1 day. In 7 years and 1 day, you know what he did. You know where I'm going with this. He built another billboard company. And so just recently, the large billboard company, they came back to him and they said, we can't believe this. We underestimated your ambition. And so now we're going to have to pay you another $25 million to buy the exact same company from you again. And he just kind of smiled at him. He said, well, you got it mostly right. You're going to have to pay me $30 million to buy the exact same company from me again. And so that's the most fascinating deal I've been a part of, because this gentleman was able to win by having what I consider an unconventional ambition. Most people would have taken the $25 million. I'm done.
I'm good.
He noticed that there was only a 7-year non-compete, and he started the same exact business again 7 years and 1 day later.
One thing I do want to make sure that folks understand about what they say. I've seen a lot of folks chase unicorns. And to me, a unicorn is this, a quick lick. So when you talk about passive income and things like that, it's no quick lick out there that's going to make you tangible money, whether it's in the streets or whether it's in anything else. It's no quick lick. So don't go out chasing that. That's how you get got. And then B, there is no good deal for bad credit, period. There is no good deal for it. So again, on these alternative.
I graduated college, I thought I didn't have to read anymore, right? Like, okay, I'm done with that. And I think probably the biggest misconception as we have aspirations to play NBA ball, NFL, NHL, whatever it may be, baseball, is that we forget the student athlete part. Like, we feel like after we graduate, the student part drops off and we just be an athlete for the rest of our lives. And it's really why I'm a bit frustrated with why they use the term career with the NFL, because career gives you a false sense of security. Career gives you the thought process as if you're going to keep making that money ongoing. It's more so an experience, right? Like and I like what Alex said earlier, when it pertains to, loans and credit. Like, there's a deadline to being an athlete, but there isn't a deadline to being a student. And so when we think about financial literacy, we have to have that same energy, right?
And so, again, what I would encourage anyone that's looking at credit to understand is that that's your film. If we're talking to athletes, credit is what you put on film. And so that's your track record. That's what anyone is going to look at to determine, do I need to extend this person credit? And I can leave it at this: the more reps that you have positively, the better your credit's going to be. So you want positive reps. Positive reps mean pay on time, bottom line. And the earlier you pay, the better. And finally, I'll say this: credit goes beyond just obtaining things like cars and, clothing. People that are looking to hire you will check your credit. Insurance companies will check your credit. You'll be surprised who checks your credit, and that will determine whether or not they want to engage with you.
Different ways to make money out here. People make money a whole lot of different ways, especially if you already have money. You can do something as simple as putting it in a treasury bill and collecting the bare minimum percentage, all the way up to investing in, an assortment or arrangement of stocks and bonds, mutual funds, or whatever. There are a lot of things for you to get into, but I think the first thing for you to consider when you're trying to create passive income is who is around you that is a trusted advisor that can sign off. Because here's the thing: if your entire life since you were 3 years old has been centered on playing whatever sport that you're in, you're not going to come out into this world and all of a sudden be a financial expert. No one's even expecting you to do that. I think that's an unrealistic reality, right? Like, all of us on this panel, we might have MBAs or experience working with companies, with financial related companies. So you might not have that experience, but I think that it's first to establish a trusted advisor. That way, to Isaac's point, if cousins say, hey, I got a barbecue business that I think that you should invest in, you need to be able to run this business by somebody that can look at the revenue, their expenses, and see if this is a profitable business for you to get in. So I think establishing those trusted advisors is the very first thing that you should do if you don't have any financial or business acumen.
I think it's also important, as Priscilla is talking about reaching out to experts, it's important to reach out to experts that you can really break down and be yourself, because we all have clients that are one way in front of the CPA, and then the CPA sees the Amex bill, like he's where, doing what, where you probably could have broke down some of these scenarios or learned a little bit about what you wanted to do by running them past your professional, but you do have to feel comfortable to be completely honest with them to get the full benefit that your expert is going to give you. I agree, and what I would add is add to your repertoire. For Kobe's birthday today, let's take a look at something that he did. Every season he came back with the new aspect to his game. Didn't matter how difficult it was, or whether it was age or whether it was injury. He always found something different to add to himself to become a better player. So you have to look at it with your business, or I'll even speak to people as employees.